So for our listeners, and I know most of the folks coming on are from health plans, it is in my experience, it's a real headache. It's very difficult to screen individual solutions, let alone like what your team has done, screening 600 over the past 10 years or so. Can you share a bit on that process and how you're able to manage that kind of volume over time?
Absolutely. So what initially started as an opportunity to just sort of learn and push horizon into innovation and sort of thinking differently and trying to be ahead of the curve when it came to health plans doing new things and offering new services. It has now turned into what we use, which is a 50-point proprietary checklist to do like really robust due diligence on any organization that contacts us. And that is what essentially has sort of become the foundation for NovaOne. Over the course of time, we've woven together this curated ecosystem of now there are about 25 different organizations all across very specific clinical specialties, all who we consider to be the best of the best. But when we were first doing this, it really was how can we sort of piece together innovation bit by bit. And now the best part about it is that we're essentially able to support our clients with this like silver platter essentially of this supportive network. And we joke that I essentially serve as their bodyguard and that they don't want to talk to point solutions without having them go through our screening and our vetting process first.
We missed an opportunity there. We should have queued up Whitney Houston's Bodyguard soundtrack right there.
The music. We'll remember that for next
time. When you think about those 600, that this is the thing that's most interesting to me. How many actually made the cut to get through a clinical review?
Not many. So out of the 600 or so, we ended up moving forward with strategic partnerships with about 30 of those organizations. So that's like less than 5%. And that was extremely intentional. The vast majority of the organizations that we've spoken with over time either didn't meet our needs from legitimate clinical perspective, operational perspective, or maybe a strategic perspective as well. The thing that I want to sort of highlight, that initial due diligence and vetting process to figure out whether or not you're actually going to move forward with an organization is really step one. Like that's the beginning of the relationship, and the vetting doesn't end there. So we require that all of our strategic provider organizations are held to very specific clinical and operational metrics. And we do that in partnership. That's intentional. It has to be this sort of long-term goal where everyone is working toward making sure that the members that they're seeing are actually getting healthier over time. So unfortunately, there have been scenarios where some organizations have slipped and we've decided to part ways because it no longer met the needs of our members.
Now, maintaining, I think, the rigor of ongoing scrutiny is very difficult. And, fake it till you make it is a pretty common term in Silicon Valley. That's not something you can afford with health plans. We want folks who can sort of not only make it through the first time, but withstand the rigor of monthly reporting, QBRs, member reporting, outcomes reporting. It's not for everybody. When you think about from a clinical perspective and the solutions that don't make it through, well, what are the most common reasons that are not able to make it through your 50-point checklist?
Yeah. After sitting through so many meetings, you start to develop this like gut check, spidey sense feeling of what is reality and what is not. And it's very hard to sort of put that into proper terms, right? The most important thing for us when a new company or a young company is pitching us is what is the clinical intent of the solution that you are talking about? What particular population type are you trying to take care of? And if there really is sort of an evidence-based framework that you've built your company on, how do you prove fidelity to that model? And how do you ensure that members are being monitored over time, that your providers are being properly trained and screened over time? Because the ultimate goal is not to launch these solutions just for the sake of having them. The intent is to launch them so that people can find them and then get better. So at the very sort of last point, after an organization has made it through our formal checklist, the team and I sort of think of the most critical question, which is, would we ourselves feel comfortable using this new solution ourselves? Would we feel comfortable suggesting it or recommending it to a friend or a family member, a loved one who needs help? If the answer is yes, and that's like another gut check, then we proceed. If we have reservations about it, we don't.